How do I look? Nice, right? Oh, the camera is on. All right. The unexpected and unforgettable composition happen when you make type do the extra work. Beautiful one there from Sean Adams. Tunji again from Caesar Graphics. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create shoelace typography poster. Now, as you all know, the exercise file is in the description of this video. And what I'm going to be teaching you guys in this tutorial is how to combine two applications. Yeah, two applications, Photoshop and Illustrator, to create a beautiful, unique, unforgettable project. So sit back, relax, and keep watching. So we're going to start with Illustrator. So I'm going to click on File and I'm going to select New. So the width I'm going to be using today is going to be 1280 because I'm making this my YouTube banner. All right, so my height here is going to be 720 and I'm going to call this lace. Let's just give the project lace. Okay, so I'm going to click on the create button. Now in the exercise file, you are going to see a file tag lace swatches. So I'm going to click on this menu icon here and I'm going to click on open swatches and select order here. So this is it here. So I'm going to select open. And now this is the swatches. So I'm going to close this and just drag this down. So these are the three swatches we're going to be using to achieve the project. Now I'm going to drag the image from my exercise file, which is the background image, because it's always good to have that on your screen before creating your part. So I'm going to drag and drop that here, and that should be here like so. And I'll go to the layer panel here. So if you can't find your layer panel, simply go to Windows and activate layers here. All right, so yeah, so this is my layer panel here, and I'm going to, and we're also going to be needing the gradient tab here. So I'm going to just position that here. We need to create a new layer, so I'm going to lock this layer and I'm going to select the text tool here, and I'm going to type capital S N K and R. Okay, and I'm going to make this bigger. So then I hold on Alt and make a copy of this and just type BALL. All right, so the font I'm going to be using today is going to be Caleto. This is here, Caleto scripts. Okay, so I'll make this smaller, and for the ball we need to make that a bit smaller, and this should be somewhere here. Can even push this in, just position it here like so. We need to convert the text to an outline. So to do that, make sure you have the text selected, and I'll go to type here and hit create outline. All right, now the reason why we're doing this is because we're going to skew this. So I'm going to select the transform tool here. So I'm using 2020, and I'm going to make sure I'm on this very first option here, and then I'm going to move this till I see the adjustment icon here, and I'm going to move this way and move this way, move this close, and I'm going to just skew it a bit more, a bit like so. Now this is okay. So I'm going to select the pen tool. Now I'm going to lock this layer and create a new layer. So this is the layer where we're going to be drawing our part. So I'm going to zoom in. Now make sure that your fill is set to no fill, and make sure your stroke color is set to this color here. All right, now I'm going to fast forward this video, but if you want to learn how to use the pen tool, I have a tutorial on my channel that you can watch that will guide you on how to use the pen tool. Okay, so I'm going to click here to create my first point. I'm going to move this here. So I'm going to hit the escape key now, and I'm going to use the direct selection tool here to fine tune my part here. So this here needs to move up a bit, and this needs to go this way. Can also move this here. All right, so let's start with the ball now. So I'm going to go back to my pen tool again, and I'm going to just click here, drag this here. Okay, so for this part here, I'm going to draw this separately. So I'm just going to put this in a separate layer. All right, so I'm going to start from here, this here, this here, and I'm going to just close it here like so. Okay, so I'm going to hide my text layer now. I'm going to draw a shape. So the width of my shape must be the same size with the width of the lace on the picture. So I'm going to zoom in and just draw a shape here like so. Now make sure when you're drawing this shape, it has to be at the center of the lace like so. All right, so I'm going to move this down here. Okay, this should be here. So I'll make this no stroke, and I'm going to click on the gradient tab here. Okay, so we need to put this in so we can see this clearly. All right, so I'm going to start with dragging and dropping of the color swatches on the gradient editor here. So I'm going to start with this. So I'm going to drag this and drop here, and I'm going to drag this here and drop here, and then I'm going to add another slider here, and you know what, let's just move this here and move this here, or let's just use this. Let's see if we use this. Okay, this is better. So I'm going to move this here. Now let's move this. Let's drag this and drop here. All right, it should be this. Need to be somewhere here like so, and we're going to push this in 59. Yeah, this is okay. All right, then I'm going to make 9 shapes. All right, because this shape here is going to serve as our adjuster. All right, this is what we're going to be using to adjust, you know, the angle of the part. All right, so I'm going to make 9 of this. So I'm going to drag this and position this here. Then I'm going to hold on shift to move this on the straight axis, and I'm going to hold on Alt to make a copy of it, and I'm going to release my hand from my mouse right about here. So I'm going to hit Ctrl D to make duplicate of this 9 times. All right, so we already have 2, so I'm going to add 7. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Okay, then I'm going to drag and select the 9 shapes here, and I'll go to, so make sure you have the 9 shapes selected, and go to object menu and select blend here and hit the blend option. Now make sure under your spacing here you are on the specified steps option, and make sure your space radius is 1000, and I'm going to select the OK button. Okay, so then I will now go to object again and select blend and hit make. All right, so I'm going to make copies of this. So I'm going to hold on Alt and drag to make duplicate of this, and I'm going to select the shape here and select this part here, and go to object again, select blend and hit replace spline. All right, now you see we have our lace already. So then I'm going to do the same move here. I'm going to make a copy again, hold on Alt and drag, and select this very first object here, and select this and select object menu again, go to blend and say replace spline again. So for this we're going to make the same move. So this needs to be behind this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this part here, and I'm going to hit Ctrl Shift and close square bracket to place this above the layer of this part here. All right, so now let's take this to Photoshop and do this, making this look super real. All right, so I'm going to go to you know what, let's just copy the part first because I don't want us to come back here again. So I'm going to just select the parts. All right, and I'm gonna hit Control C for Windows users and Command C for Mac users. Then I'll go to Photoshop now and create a new document. So by clicking on File, I'm gonna select New, and then I'm gonna call this lace. All right, and my width is still gonna be this 1280, and height is gonna be 720. All right, 720. Now resolution is going to remain as 72. Color mode is going to be on RGB. Now the reason why I'm using this setting is because I'm not planning to print this is just for social media use. All right, so I'm going to click on the create button now, and I'm going to drag my background image again and drop here like so, and hit the enter key, and I'm going to create a new layer, but we need to lock this layer so as to save it from moving it around. And I'm going to hit Control V to paste the part from Illustrator. So I'm going to zoom in and position this here like so. We're going to position this here. Okay, we still need to move this in a bit, so we're going to put just in about here. All right, so I'm going to hit the enter key now, and I'm going to hide this for now. All right, and I'm going to make a copy of this, but first I need to unlock it and create a copy of this. And I'm going to use my pen tool because we need to take out this stuff here from the project. All right, so but we need this, so I'm going to select the pen tool and just crop this out. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to be fast with this. Okay, so then I'm going to select the selection button here and hit the OK button, and then I'm going to hit Control J to crop that out, and I'll right click on the layer and say rasterize. All right, then I'm going to hide this. Let's just call this lace head. Right. And I'm going to F5 and hit the OK button. Right now, when you're using the parts, all right, when you're using the pen tool, make sure your option here is set to part, not shape. All right, because if you're on the shape option, you're not going to see some of the stuff I have here on my property tab here. All right, so let's see if I make this visible now. Okay, so we still need to adjust this side. I'm going to just draw a shape here, convert it to a marquee, and just cut this out with Ctrl J. And I'm going to position this above this. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, all right, because we're going to be hiding this part of the project. So I'm going to make this visible now. See, this is looking the way I want it. I'm going to add the layer mask to this, and then I'm going to select the brush tool. Now make sure that on your brush tip here, you are on the hard brush. All right, then make sure that you're using a graphics tablet. Make sure your transfer option is set to frame pressure, but if you don't have a graphics tablet, you can make your flow 3 like mine here. So I'm going to reduce my brush size and make sure that your foreground here is set to black. So if yours is on another color, just click on this icon here and it will automatically change to black and white for you. All right, so I'm just going to take this out from here like so. Just take it out. Okay, this is okay for now. Shoelace look on our project. Okay, so let's dive straight to the adding depth to it. Now the adding depth part comes from the adding of shadows. All right, so I'm going to start with the letter S here, and I'm going to I'm going to select the duplicated background image here, and I'm going to hold down Alt and create a new layer and call this shadow. And then I'm going to select the enter key. Now select the brush tool, and I'm going to turn off right here. Now make sure that my flow here is set to 7, and make sure that your foreground here is set to black. And let's see what we have. This is beautiful. And make sure you're on the soft round brush. All right, now if you're using a graphics tablet, make sure transfer is turned off. So I'm going to just reduce my brush size here, and I'm going to move the zoom in right about here and just draw apart here like so. All right, so we need to just make this a bit more stronger. All right, yeah, this is beautiful. Let's see if my brush there is too stuff is not neat. All right, so I'm gonna select OK button now. This is beautiful. All right, so we can just even add more of the brush here like so. Okay, and then for this side here, I'm just going to drag and just push this out, or we can even increase our brush size. Okay, so increase the brush size. Just add more brush here. So for here, brush this out here. All right, so for the ball here, we need to just take this out. So I'm going to select the layer mask of the lace layer here, and I'm going to reduce my brush size. Make sure you're on the hard brush, flow to 96 here, and I'm going to reduce my brush size. Now make sure that your foreground is set to black when doing this. All right, so I'm going to just zoom in, and then I'm just going to take this out like so. Now when you're taking this out, try not to make it go outside of this line here. All right, so yeah, this is okay. Then I'm going to create a new layer by holding down Alt and click on the new layer icon. Then I'm going to call this shadow. Okay, it should be shadow, and I'm putting the enter key here. Then I'm going to hold down Alt and place my mouse in between the shadow layer and the lace layer till I see the arrow facing down with the box, and I'm going to click to clip that inside the lace layer here. So then I'm going to select the brush tool now, make my flow go back to 6 here. Then I'm going to zoom in and just add the shadow to this, increase my brush size. Now make sure you're on the soft round brush when you're doing this. All right, so I'm just going to apply that here like so. Let's just apply the shadow here. All right, this is beautiful. All right, so then I'm going to apply another shadow right under this, but make sure you're on this shadow layer when doing this. I'm going to reduce my brush size here, and I'm just going to apply the shadow right about here. Try not to make it too far from the layer. So then it should be from here down till it goes here. Then I'm going to increase my brush size. Then I'm just going to apply, shadow strength is too much, so I'm going to make it 3. Just apply this here. Increase my brush and just do that here. Then for this side, I'm just going to apply that here. for the lace head, so I'm going to move this here, and this should go on right here. So we're going to make a copy of this because we need two of this. So right now I'm going to zoom in and convert this to as my objects. All right, and I'm going to activate the free transform on this and just rotate it this way, and this should be here. This is good. So for the other lace head, I'm going to activate the free transform on this again, and this should be on this. So we are going to zoom in and just rotate this way and make this go smaller. Just turn this here, kind of rotate it this way, just make it go a bit smaller, and hit the enter key on this. All right, I'm going to select this, select the brush tool, and just going to put this out here. Now make sure you're on the brush tool when doing this. All right, so this should be somewhere here, like so. Erase it to just take this out. All right, we need to activate levels on it, and then click on the clip icon because I want this to be brighter. Yeah, and select the brush tool, zoom in, and just take this out from here, like so. All right, let's see. This is good. All right, so one other thing we need to do again is to right click on the layer of the lace here and rasterize it, because I noticed we have some issues here that we need to fix. All right, so I'm going to go under the brush tool here and select the mixer brush, and I'm going to use that to just mix the colors here. Select the shadow layer here and select the pen tool, and I'm going to quickly apply shadow to the overlap part on the lace here. So I'm going to hit Control Enter to convert this to a marquee, increase my brush size. Now this time I'm going to use the color from the lace. So now make sure you're on the brush tool when doing this. All right, so I'm going to hold on Alt and sample a color from here, and then make this a bit darker, like so, and just increase my brush size, then apply that here, like so. So hit Ctrl H to hide the marquee, like so. All right, so I'm just going to apply this here, hit Ctrl D to deselect the marquee, and let's see where we have the overlap stuff again. So here we need to just apply the shadow here. So hit Ctrl Enter and just apply the brush to this side. So hit Ctrl D. So I'm just going to apply the shadow here also. So I'm just going to draw. So hit Ctrl Enter, select the brush tool, and just apply that. Now make sure your brush on this side is soft. All right, don't apply too much brush here. Okay, so hit Ctrl D to deselect that. So yeah, where do we have? So I'm going to stop here. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. If you are able to achieve any project with the help of this video, simply post it on your Instagram and remember to tag me. My Instagram handle is @CaesarGraphics, and I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.